Okay, so guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're keeping well. Today I'm going to be reacting to Khadija Khan talking about the blasphemy laws. She so eloquently dissects the problems with implementing such law, even suggesting such law in Parliament by Tahir Ali. And as I stated in my previous video, this is a further restraint on the freedom of speech, the freedom to think and exercise your freedom of expression, speech, thoughts, etc. They are trying to cancel it out as it pertains to Islam. Not Abrahamic religions, no, Islam, because Christians and Jews are not pushing for this law. Only Tahir Ali, and I'm sure that his constituents are happy with what he said and raising that matter up in Parliament. So let's watch what Khadija Khan has to say. She brings up some eloquent points, and she talks about how, you know, Sharia law is implemented in Muslim countries and how blasphemy laws are implemented in Muslim countries. So let's check her out, man. She seems based.
I think, first of all, that Keir Starmer's response, I mean, there are two things here. One is that an MP is standing up in the House of Parliament, arguably asking for our culture, Western liberal culture, to be pushed backwards. And secondly, an incredibly weak response from Keir Starmer.
This is yet another transparent attempt to introduce blasphemy laws, draconian Islamic blasphemy laws in Britain. And it was not surprising, but the way it was conducted in the Parliament, it was quite shocking, even for me, because there has been discussion around Islamophobia and to legalize or just criminalize, you know, all the criticism on religion because it was being conflicted with the bigotry against Muslims. So there has been such discussion, but this time this was a blatant, I would say, attack on free speech, because they have made it very much clear that under the guise of legalizing this one term, Islamophobia, they are trying to ring fence an ideology, a set of beliefs. This has nothing to do with protecting Muslims as people. And yes, Keir Starmer's response was very, I would say, dramatic. It was not very clear, very vague. He did not commit himself to any specific action. However, he did sort of you know, give a green light to this kind of conversation to go ahead, you know, with this kind of rhetoric to introduce and to bring back those blasphemy laws that have been repealed in Britain. And I would say at this point we need to stop using euphemistic terms and words to describe what happened in Parliament and call a spade instead. People are beheaded, they are tortured, imprisoned, and they are burnt alive in countries where such draconian Islamic blasphemy laws are enforced. And it's a tragedy, really, that in modern day Britain, where we uphold free speech values and, you know, the values of tolerance and, you know, the values of peaceful coexistence, we are talking about so regressively, I would say, introducing these blasphemy laws back in Britain.
Yeah, there's definitely, just very quick, I'm not going to keep on pausing the video. Yes, there's somewhat free speech, but we've seen a two-tier system that seems to allow, you know, people, pro-Palestinians, especially BLM as well, when that was happening, to go on the streets, cause havoc, say whatever they want online, and it's absolutely fine. And then we've seen a two-tier system whereby if you're talking too much on Facebook, you're criticizing, you're simply just making your views heard, and then you get a knock on the door by government agencies. So there's clearly a two-tier system that exists in the UK, and there is somewhat of a freedom of speech that's slipping away. Can it be saved? Who knows? Like Khadija Khan said, Keir Starmer should have shut it down in Parliament. He should have given no leeway for this conversation to come back up. No, there's freedom of speech. There's freedom of thoughts and expressions. People can say whatever they like. We are not going to be introducing any blasphemy laws. But, you know, he danced around the topic again because, again, his constituents, he's scared of upsetting them or whatever. And he just can't give a direct answer into saying, yes, you know, we will absolutely uphold free speech and we will never be introducing any kinds of blasphemy laws under this Labour government. But he cannot say it, and he leaves, like Khadija said, you know, the door open for more of this kind of conversation and rhetoric to come through the door again. So yeah.
Yeah, as you say, anti-Muslim bigotry is real.
Yes.
Needs to be addressed, needs to be dealt with where
Exactly.
it occurs. Islamophobia, arguably, is a made-up term, specifically by Islamists to, as you say, conflate the two. An ideology with the people who follow that ideology. And that's very, very dangerous when you have the parliamentary group who looking into trying to work out a definition of Islamophobia. I believe they defined it as something to do anything criticizing Muslimness. So open-ended and so dangerous.
Yeah, just very quickly again, that was the vagueness that Angela Rayner said in Parliament. She was just very vague with the term. And remember, like I said, if you're so vague with it, then they can literally prosecute you for anything in regards to Islam when you haven't given a definition of what Islamophobia is. So yeah.
Free speech.
This concept of Muslimness does not include many people who, identify themselves as Muslims. It does not include Muslims from Ahmadiyya community. It does not include Muslim, LGBTQ Muslims and moderate Muslims, women who don't wear hijab. It does not include those people who don't wear religion on their sleeves 24/7. So it's a very contentious, I would say, term that has been pushed forward into political and social discourse. And as you said that, and I firmly believe that anti-Muslim bigotry is real, that needs to be addressed wherever it rears its ugly head, like any other form of racism or bigotry. However, when we talk about Islamophobia, in this incident, this has been made clear what they mean by Islamophobia. They want to introduce laws. In fact, they aim to enforce those laws in this society, in a free democratic British society, that prohibit desecration of all religious texts, and they literally aim to protect one particular religion. And saying this, Ibrahim, I don't see any Christian or any Jewish person, pushing any sort of, laws or proposal to ring fence their religion. It's this one term that has been pushed into political and social discourse just to protect Islam from criticism. And there are people who always say that let's make a distinction between Islam and Islamism. I would say that we need to make a distinction between Islam as a set of ideas and Muslims as people, because ideas, they don't have right, and Muslims as people, they do have right. And when we talk about Islam, yes, Islamism is a political ideology, a vile political ideology that seeks to subjugate people through intimidation and fear and violence. However, Islam as a religion, there are certain aspects of Islam which are very much discriminatory, misogynistic, and we need to discuss those, because those aspects of this religion, they impact vulnerable lives and people suffer. So we need to be able to talk about these aspects and to scrutinize these things, because we live in a society where people enjoy religious freedom, and freedom of belief is one thing, but freedom to manifest one's religious belief is another. In Article 9, Paragraph 2 of the European Convention on Human Rights, it explicitly states that the freedom to manifest one's religious belief shall be subject to prescribed laws in a democratic society for various reasons, including to protect public safety and to protect other people's rights and freedom. So we need to understand this thing, that people, they do enjoy religious freedom here in British society, and as far as this...
Guys, just last thing, I know she's almost finished, but there's not really religious freedom in the UK. Many videos go viral of many priests, many pastors on the streets, prophesizing the word, the gospel, the New Testament, Jesus Christ. And like I've shown and demonstrated in previous videos, they are arrested and they're escorted off. So there's no religious freedoms for Christianity as we see. Even as I'm recording this video, I believe one of the England players had Jesus Loves You on his wrist, on his armband, and now he's apparently going to be fined and they're going to take action against him just for writing Jesus Loves You. So it's a shame. So
The scrutiny of a religious belief is concerned, I think no religion should be placed above scrutiny. We should be able to criticize and question all beliefs, all ideas, because there are problematic things in ideas and beliefs that needs to be scrutinized.
Exactly, and what happened this week arguably is a massive step back, but hopefully we have addressed this and we can create the wall that will stop the erosion of...
Very much hopeful.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
yeah, very good with Khadija Khan. She absolutely hit the nail on the head. Yeah, guys, man, that's my reaction to the whole thing. You know, I've done a video on it previously. I went in depth. This is just my reaction to what she has to say as well. She brings up some very, very good points. So yeah. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you at the next video. Peace.